Can you hear it, Alan?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Looks like we are live on this Monday morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, that's who we love. That's who we serve here on DBInnervisionFM. You are joining us this morning, Monday, November 7th, 2022. The DBInnervision FM universe. I'm Alan C. We got Johnnie J in the house, president, station manager of DBInnervision FM. Welcome. We've got a fun set of topics today. It's the we dare all day long and twice on Sundays. Hey, folks, we got one more day to get our ducks in a row and our ballots all aligned. Tomorrow, it's time to take back our country, ladies and gentlemen. Vote blue no matter who. Vote red until you're dead, but get out and vote.
Hi, everybody. This is the Godfather, Soul James Brown. I tell you, this is on. My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather, Soul James Brown. And stay with it and hit it.
Okay, we are here.
Happy Monday, Johnny.
Hey, happy Monday, man! It's happening. Oh man, it is happening. Hey, hi, Gretchen. What was her name? Is Gretchen. They had the climate change conference where they praise the climate instead of praising the Lord. They praise the climate for ending fossil. And did you hear the was it Hugh Hewitt show? He was showing all the times that Biden this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, was saying we're gonna stop all oil and we're gonna get rid of all coal and we're gonna convert those coal mills into windmill factories and we're gonna do it this way. And it's like, man, I mean, you just keep talking that craziness. That's keep talking.
Example of Romans chapter 1, verse 24, 25, 26, where it talks about how we basically worship the creation more than the creator, who is supposed to be the one that we're supposed to worship and to give all the glory, honor, and praise. But we've decided to go ahead and set ourselves up at the top of the food chain and at the top of the evolutionary chain, where we are now in a place where we worship that creation more than the creator. We'll take 1,000 plastic bags and not recycle them, all in the name of climate science and the climate change, which is sweeping the whole planet. It's a big ball of confusion, folks.
I did.
More today on DBInnervision FM. Where do you want to start?
Well, I went to like two events. I went to that musical, which is Ain't Too Proud to Beg. And then I went, before then, last Wednesday, I went to this thing called, Black Voices for Heidi and Danny, and they're running for governor here in Colorado. And so
governor,
the governorship here in Colorado. And so they're like meeting all different types of groups. And Casper Stockham got together this thing called Spark, which is an initiative to get in these different other voters. And he says the most pushback he's getting from Republicans who probably never go into the Black and brown community but those people are hungry for something different, and hopefully they won't I don't know, mess this up.
Well, I will
Yeah.
the Black and Brown community has long been a target for the Democratic machine to try to get them to vote a certain way.
Hmm.
The blind community and visually impaired community, as well as
Hmm.
disabled community, is being pulled into this as well as our senior citizens, because we're all starting to realize, and we're all starting to become united under the fact that inflation is crushing us and it's killing us. Now,
Hmm.
some Democrats would say that inflation was a made up word, and we didn't have a clue what inflation was until the evil red Republicans brought that to our attention. And I would submit that to be a somewhat incorrect assessment, simply because at the tender age of 8 years old, I found out what inflation was under the gentle, kind tutelage and guidance of our former president, Jimmy Carter. Shout out and raised hands to one of the number one presidents in American is Jimmy Carter. Fortunately, he was one of the worst presidents in American history, second only to our friend Brandon, who happens to currently be in the White House.
Yes, and yeah, Jimmy Carter. I mean, up to now, he was one of the worst presidents, but now, I guess this Brandon has taken over that position.
Well, I mean, some would say that. Others would say that he's doing a great job. And I would challenge folks to, when they leave their comments in the comments section, also when they're liking, sharing, and subscribing, and hitting the notifications bell, so that whenever we go live or whenever we have a broadcast, you're notified. In addition to this, go ahead and leave a comment. Just give us one thing that our current president, who resides in the White House, has done that has made your lives better. We, as Republicans, are open-minded, and we would like to have some real good dialogue as to what makes the most popular president ever elected in American history the most popular president ever elected in American history. Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah. And so now all these COVID rules are not up. So we'll see how well they do their thing this time around, and we're going to see even better because of Randy Corcoran, who's one of the heads of the Republican committees here in Colorado. He says they're definitely looking into, as you know, we have a dead announcer, James Brown. They're looking into these dead voters as well. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see how that is. Oh, and of course, hey, tomorrow I'm running for HD5. I've been running for the HD5. So get out if you're living in Denver, Colorado. Vote for me, and that's why I pushed that hashtag Black Voices for Colorado, because they said, hey, if you're gonna do something in your social media, do the hashtag and all that kind of stuff. So I put that out there for people to link up with that, and also they also visit like Indian people from India, Chinese, and so I mean the Republicans are really here in Colorado, and then in other places as well. They're getting out and meeting all these different groups and saying, hey, we do want you to be a part of what we're doing, and if you believe in family, if you believe in lower taxes, if you believe in lower regulations on your big businesses, hey, come on over. Yeah, but if you believe in high taxes, if you believe in just high crime spree because they're letting out criminals just as, and I heard a report on that this morning on Fox News about in New York, it could have worked where if it was a low crime, they could, not charge any bail. But the judges, and I don't know, are these judges just stupid? They have a guy that comes in there, he's accused of attempted murder, rape, and they say, well, no bail for you because you're poor. And they go back out and rape and kill somebody else. And I'm not sure.
It's interesting as these safety laws or these types of style laws, which are being enacted in Illinois, most notably in Chicago and in New York and some other places. This is not a new idea to get rid of bail altogether. The thinking being obviously that there's just way too much money being made on the backs of our criminal element. There's a big circle which takes place where you commit a crime, you go in, you do your time, you get back out, you're supposedly rehabilitated, but you're not at all rehabilitated. You're just a smarter criminal. Hang out with your friends and your neighbors inside the institutions of repute dealing with the Great Bari Hotel. Yeah, I mean, so you go to jail, you get out of jail, you go to prison, you get out of prison, and you just learn how to be a smarter criminal. The idea being, well, if we lower the bail rates or if we do away with bail altogether, we can save some money in the short term, not even realizing that in the long term or even in the short term, individuals, if they are allowed to get out on their own recognizance and some other things like this with no bail attached, what's to stop them from going back out onto the streets committing these crimes? Additionally, you've got situations where some of these laws, the way that they're written, especially in the Chicago area, let's just say you got a plot of land and somebody decides they want to squat on that plot of land. So they're on your back lawn and they're all set up with their tent or whatever they've got going on. You cannot have them removed. You can't even charge them, from what I understand, with regard to reading these laws. You can't even charge them with trespassing. So it's very interesting, and not so much in a good way, to see the downfall of society. The first thing that is set to go in the destruction of a society is the legislative and judicial system. And the best way to do that is to go ahead and overwhelm the judicial system with cases and then write these bunk pieces of legislation, such as the abolition of bail altogether. And once you've got that, you've got an overflow of cases that appear in front of the courts. And so much so that they can't even function. And so this is all by design, folks. And seriously, if you guys like this kind of thing, you need to get out and you need to vote blue.
Yeah, you like that. And most of these criminals, they go back to these blue or these minority neighborhoods, and they go back, and then you got the reduction of policemen there. So there's just a free fall. And
it's free.
Also, I heard this morning, because you always said like, oh, some of these states that have high crime rates are in the red states, but they didn't tell you the nuance. They're the red states that have blue mayors within those states.
Colorado's a good example of that. Half of Colorado happens to register as Republican, whereas the big cities in Colorado, such as Denver and some cities, Aurora, this kind of thing, they do happen to typically vote blue because they're more interested in the social programs and the climate change actions and initiatives that are taking place. So it is interesting to be in a state like Colorado where it's kind of split down the middle.
Yeah, you definitely see like the destruction that they got. I mean, it took them like step by step, 50 years to get it this way. And like Wellington Webb, man, that guy, he brought in finances. He brought in a lot of like businesses and stuff like that. And then after him, it just went downhill. So as far as I'm concerned, I mean, he was the only politician, Democrat politician I could agree with as far as like what he did for the city. And but then after that, Hickenlooper, Pena, and his cronies, and then this guy Michael Hancock, and then Polis. Polis is the worst because he's like one of those people that will get a fly and then pluck the wings off the fly just to say, "Oh, I can't hear you scream," and pluck another wing. You know, he's one of those kind of person that you know, as he's torturing us, he says, "Oh, I don't hear it." And just like Dr. Fauci's when he put those beagles in the thing and they wanted to see, well, he gave a grant to see what would happen if these flesh-eating flies how would it go, and the scientists, they didn't like the sound of the beagles crying and stuff like that, so they clipped the tongues so they can continue the experiment. So man, there's just evil people like that. I mean, just could you imagine for you dog lovers out there? So that's your Dr. Fauci. But anyway, that's a subject I'm going that way. But let me look at and then we did talk about Joy Reid saying that she was calling. Oh yeah, we talked about that, and then on the View they were saying like Republican women that vote Republican, they're like roaches going towards raid.
Tell us a little bit about that, Johnny.
Man, okay, so you guys know that there's this TV show with a bunch of not so bright, the light, the elevator hasn't gone to the top group of women who they're stone cold blue, and it's like the blue can do no wrong, as far as like Democrats can do no wrong, and so you hear so many stupid things that are said on that show. And the one thing this one lady said was that these women in the suburbs, the white women, are going to vote Republican. And she says she compared it to roaches going towards raid. So like what's his name? Hillary Clinton called us the deplorables, the tradition, and then what Biden calls us fascists and then semi-fascists. And so the beat goes on with the FBI considering parents that are concerned with the kids being domestic terrorists. So this slinging Republicans and followers of Republicans in the mud and MAGA Republicans continues on with this group of people. So yeah. Let me go down. Where is that? Okay, where's that song?
Ball of Confusion, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually an interesting song, and I guess it was written fairly recently, as a matter of fact. Some folks wanted a political song, and they cobbled together this thing on the bones of a song made by the Temptations. Is that right, Johnny?
Yeah, this is like back in the 70s. I'm gonna figure out. Let's see, what's that? What year was the song "Ball of Confusion" written? Oh, 1970. Okay, May 7th, 1970.
Wow, so it's been around for quite some time, and the lyrics are still valid today. Wow.
Yeah, and people moving out, moving in, people moving out, all because the color of their skin. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Vote for me and I'll set you free. The only person talking about love thy brother is the preacher. And the only one learning is the preacher. Okay, wait. Humiliation, obligation to my nation, ball of confusion. Oh yeah. That is what that is what the world is today.
Wow. It's
Now
pretty.
let's see.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the city. Okay, the city ablaze. In the summertime. Okay, well, summertime's over. And the older beat goes on. Hey, that's from the Sonny and Cher song. And the beat goes on. Hey, yeah. Yeah.
The idea being is the more things change, the more they stay the same. There's nothing new under the sun. And this is not a new game that is being played upon the American people. The idea being this whole red team and the blue team, it's all a joke. What if at the top, there's no red, there's no blue, there's just a bunch of people. And they happen to be friends and they all get together and they have a few drinks and they decide, hey, wouldn't it be great if, and if they've got an R, they got a D at the end of their political affiliation, why, it doesn't matter much because they're just friends and they're just ruling a bunch of people that on either side, maybe they're not as informed as they'd like to be, or maybe they're not as involved as they'd like to be. But the folks at the top, they like that. They enjoy when we're not involved at the local, state, and federal levels, because if we were involved, every single one of us, and taking an active role in our civic duty to our country, it wouldn't be where it's at, where we're voting for our red team or our blue team. Boy, just get him in there and maybe things will change.
Oh, let me do this in this part. Okay, this reminds me of Elon Musk. Okay, shooting rockets to the moon, children growing up too soon, and then what's the other part? Oh, politician says more taxes will solve everything, and the band plays on.
Right.
Yes. More taxes. Right. That's what the Democrats have. More taxes.
Give me money and you will be honey.
Yeah, yes.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And the bottom line being is this is not a new thing. This is definitely an old game being played on us, and it continues to be played. Now it's just climate change. So, you're not a good little doobie unless you believe in climate change, believe in the electric vehicles that have the power to literally endanger millions of visually impaired blind people throughout the country and or throughout the world. Never mind the fact that mining for the battery materials is it's a long game at best, and it destroys the environment much more than does the strip mining for the coal.
Oh yeah, and is it and standing on the eve of destruction with the climate change? Of course, when I talked about Greta earlier about the climate change, it's always like this. We're on the edge of destruction, and it's like, and back then it was the Vietnam War, the nuclear thing, the Cold War. And now it's climate change is the most important thing that's going to happen. And we got the 16-year-old out of touch, mentally challenged girl going around saying, "How dare you?" Wait a minute, where is she at? Where is she at? Okay, wait.
We got Greta.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I took us off our chair, so you didn't hear that.
Oh well.
Oh well. Well, anyway, so that is just man, and I didn't hit record. Man, so many things to remember. Well, anyway, people.
That's why you need a studio engineer, Johnny. You can volunteer to be a studio engineer as well as a number of different places we can fit you in. Just hit us up at Innervision Records. That's INNER visionrecords.org. And on that particular site, you're going to see ways that you can help Johnnie J out and Innervision FM. Be a part of the Innervision FM universe, be a sponsor or helping out as a volunteer.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, just paypal.me/InnervisionDenver will help us get to another level.
How dare you?
And there she is. but we really appreciate that. And don't forget to subscribe and share, like the show. That'll help with our algorithms.
Right.
And even though, and we're in Rumble today. I got that set up. Man, it was so many things I was setting up this morning, which I'm going to try to set up this afternoon while I'm digitizing some never released albums. Oh, let me tell you this. Last night, the group I belong to is called Combo, and sometimes the president, she goes to different meetings and stuff like that, or goes to different movies, and she, hey, if you want to have a movie night with Barb, you go. And so I said, let me send her my movie. So she clicked on the link like during our meeting last night, and this other movie came up with the same title as my movie.
Holy crow, really?
So I'm thinking like, I thought we copywritten the title, but I got to go check and make sure, because I'm thinking like, wait a minute, it's like, how many other people could have thought of the name, even me?
Well, that's interesting. Now that you bring up copyrights and things like that, if indeed you guys did copyright the name, and I guess when was it created? Back in
91, yeah.
91?
Mm-hmm.
So, you could theoretically, not that, you want to legally spank somebody, but obviously, if they're stepping on your toes and your stuff is copyrighted, it's the same type of thing with patents. I mean, there are legal procedures that have to be followed. And that is the one thing that keeps us as a great nation is our laws and this kind of thing. Once we start getting away from rule of law, well, then we're in trouble.
Yeah, and so when I heard, because she was saying, "Oh yeah, Johnny, we just saw the movie, the premiere of the movie," and I said, "You did? I didn't see you the premiere. I sent you the copy of the whole movie." So it was kind of a shock to me, but I would have never known because like on YouTube, they put commercials in front of things. And so it was a commercial of Even Me, the other movie, in front of my movie, Even Me.
That's interesting. Speaking of YouTube, man, they've raised their prices pretty significantly for for a single subscription. It's gone up to I don't have the schedule up in front of me, but it'd be pretty expensive.
I just got through paying $4 for Twitter to get my blue my blue check mark. And I think he said he's gonna raise it up to $8, I think, or maybe it's gonna stay at $4. But maybe I think he's gonna change it. But I said I'll gladly pay for that. And did you hear what Elon Musk did to these Hollywood stars, that they changed their name to his name? And so he says he gave him a warning now that if you do this, you're going to be banned from Twitter forever. He says, a warning now. He says, the next time it happens, no warning, you're just banned.
Right.
Right. So these Hollywood stars, they thought it was going to be funny. He said, but if you put on parody Elon Musk, no problem.
Okay.
As long as you let people know that this is a parody and you're not real. So he's cracking down on these fake people that they get these names and they go into this anonymity, and they could say all these bad things about people because it's a fake name and nobody really knows who they are. They're these keyboard warriors, like I said. So I'm thinking about going back to on YouTube and paying for no commercials either, man. Because sometimes I like just walk around and I'll put my phone in one place and have my wireless earphones. Yeah. And then the commercial pops up, and then I got to go back to find the phone.
Yep.
Get past the commercial. So I took it off a while because I was mad at them because they kept doing stuff to our media. But I said, okay, I'll pay the $13 a month, or I guess get an annual. And I think if you do the annual, you get 3 months free if you do the annual. So
I'll have to look at that, because $23 a month is what it's gone up to, I believe. I could be mistaken,
so
but
I heard $13 or $16.
But that's for the single. I'm talking about for the family membership.
Oh, family. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I just do it for the single. And it's like,
It's getting up there. It's getting up there, but everything's getting up there. I mean, inflation is hitting all of us, rich and poor alike, and we're going to be united. And that's the cool thing about our most popular president ever elected is he has succeeded or is in process of succeeding into making these United States united. We're all going to be united under higher prices, higher taxes, more regulations, and less freedoms. And
Yeah. And we'll be cold while we're doing it because we're going to be with the windmills and the sun. When the sun goes down, the
Right.
heat goes down.
right.
Oh,
And
man.
you know, the best part of this is right around Thanksgiving will be the last time that we'll be able to give thanks in great earnest because allegedly allegedly our diesel fuel is going to dry up. I mean,
Mhm.
you'll now see articles on Google that will say, nope, this is all a big lie. We're fine. Everything's fine.
Mhm.
But you can't say you're going to destroy fossil fuels. You can't stop drilling for oil. You can't decide to not work with some of these countries that have banned the sale of DEF, which is a essential chemical that goes into diesel fuel. You can't do all these things and expect for positive results and positive consequences out of all this. So, you know, the best part about this particular industry that Johnny and I are in, some call it the scandal-based industry. The best part of this is, hey, just wait. Because the idea is the difference between a conspiracy and fact is usually about 6 months.
Yeah. And also, if you ever noticed, they have started putting Christmas stuff in the stores.
Yes.
Now, they skipped over Thanksgiving. So are we not supposed to be thankful for our country? So that they said, hey, don't be thankful. Just take it for granted. Let's forget Thanksgiving. And then let's just get straight to the Christmas where it's better to give than to receive or whatever. And that's what I've noticed. Like, wait a minute. Let's get to Thanksgiving. At least in October, you could have said Thanksgiving, gobble, gobble and all that kind of stuff. Then when we're getting close to Thanksgiving, then jump over to Christmas. But no, forget about Christmas, everybody. No, forget about Thanksgiving. And if you can afford Christmas, we'll see about that. But I was at this fundraiser last night. If you ever see the TV show SCIA, or it's the specialty task force that they go after these criminals that do sexual crimes and stuff like that. So we went to this event last night, and man, money was flowing. $10,000, $5,000, $500, and people were donating. I think it was like maybe 100 people were there last night.
Yeah,
maybe 50. But it was really it was my first time going to a 200 people. Yeah,
it was about 20 tables, and every table have 10
10 people.
chairs.
200 people, man. They were kicking butt. I said, I want Intervision to have a fundraiser like that. I mean, but I got to get to know more people though. So I'm trying to work on
thing with
getting more.
FM, folks, is what you see is what you get. We want to be as transparent as possible. We want to make sure that all the cookies, so to speak, are on the lower shelf. A lot of politicians, a lot of folks that are in the media industry are about themselves and about enriching their things and enriching their people, whereas Intervision FM is all about putting all the cookies on the lower shelf. If all ships rise upon the tides of success, then we're all successful.
Yeah, and I also I just added us to, I think it's called TuneIn Radio, but it's a service that you get in cars. So I'll get that information and I'll put that in the list of things, radio stations now we're on. We're not on iHeartRadio yet. I mean, because that costs like $400 a month.
It does. It costs.
Yeah. But we're getting out there, so we're added on to like thousands of more places where they can receive. And when I was talking to the guys from Jamaica, they asked
Mhm.
me if we were on there. So now we're on there, so I can send a note to them and say that. And I'll send you it so you could know exactly how this worked. But it's like Sirius XM, where you can get it now on your regular inside your car. So we
Right, you
can,
can get it in your car, you can get it on your smart speaker. So if you've got an Amazon Echo or Amazon Alexa, just tell it to play Intervision FM on TuneIn, and
Mhm.
it'll pull up the latest podcast
Yes.
that we got, as well as the 24-hour station. So it'll play
Yes.
the 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can check out Story Time 7 days a week from, I guess it's noon to 1
Well,
standard. Right?
yeah, from 11 to 1. Yeah, it
Oh,
shows
11.
Yep. So we got that all started. Then we got the artist interviews Monday through Friday from noon to 1. Then we have Saylor show Monday through Thursday, and that's a 3-hour show. Then we have Aaron Opinion
Opinion?
on
He's-
Thursdays from 4 to 5:05. Then we have the Clone Show, Alfonso and the Clone Show, Fridays from 3 until 5. And then we have the Robert Randall Show from 5:30 to 6:30. Oh, and then we have Reggie, Rocko, and Casper, Stockham, and Johnnie J on KLZ on Fridays. It's the after show. The show comes on from 9 to 10 o'clock live, and the phone number is up there. And then we come on with the after show from 10 to 11 every Friday. So we got in the morning show, of course, Monday through Fridays from 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock, but it's on KINV-DB Innervision FM. So we got a lot of stuff going on. So anyway, I got to originally get out of here because I got a 10 o'clock meeting with Laverne.
Well, great being
Yeah.
with you folks. I'll definitely be praying for that meeting. Johnny, you'll be meeting with the low vision and blind unit state supervisor to help out and see if we can get some underpinnings put together for up and coming new DJs and or that kind of thing.
Oh yeah. We got that going on, man. It's like I'm partnering with the DVR and try to cut into some of the 70% unemployment. So I already got one working on another, and then I'm going to be working on you too. So I'm going to be calling, send me your information for your DVR person, and I'll send over the information, and then do the paperwork, and then go from there.
All right. One quick thing. Just want to thank all you guys for stopping by the Intervision FM universe. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and make sure that all your friends know about this particular broadcast.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. That's